Good morning and welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Monday, February 9th. Okay, let's take a look at the action. The S&Ps are trading higher actually now by 0.03%. We're down 0.2% all morning long, but now we've just started turning into the green, which is kind of positive, especially after Friday's big rally. Busy week ahead. Busy week. We got a host of big earnings coming out and a lot of key economic data coming out. I mean, technology stocks are going to be in focus because we got earnings coming out from AppLovin, Arista Networks, Cisco, Datadog, Spotify, Shopify, and others. On the macro front, you got to take a look at this economic data that's coming out because that non-farms payroll report, which was supposed to come out on Friday, it's been rescheduled. It's now coming out on Wednesday. And then, of course, this Friday, you get the CPI being released. So these are the two key economic reports for the week. In geopolitical news, China's out there asking its financial institutions to limit exposure to U.S. treasuries. On the flip side, you got Japan as a ruling party won that election over the weekend. They're going to be adding a lot of stimulus to that market, so that market just jumped significantly overnight. In corporate news, Eli Lilly, they're going to be requiring Oma Therapeutics for $2.4 billion. Hims and Hers, ticker Hims, they announced that they're going to stop offering their copycat version of Wegovy. Listen, the FDA is onto them. They're looking hard at them. They had to take a step back. Kroger, they're in the news as well. They announced a new CEO. On the earnings front, APO and DT, Dynatrust, they're both trading higher after their earnings report. After the bell today, you got Upwork, Goodyear Tire, and ON Semiconductor. They're scheduled for release. Tomorrow morning, you got AstraZeneca, AZN, Spotify, CVS, Marriott Hotels, Ferrari, ticker RACE, and Datadog. They're all scheduled to report tomorrow morning. I'm taking a look at what's going on over in Europe, and we're going to start off with the DAX, which is up 0.37% or 92 points. It's led by gains in financials and industrial stocks, which, you see this little bit of a rotation going into them, which I guess is positive. The FTSE, on the other hand, the FTSE is actually down 0.2%. There's some political discord going on with the UK government, and that's like causing the weakness there in the UK. Mining shares are trading a little higher. In Paris, the CAC is flat to higher. Aerospace defense stocks are providing some support to the index. Then we're moving on over to Asia, and we got to start off with Japan because Japan saw that massive rally overnight. The index gained 3.89% or 2,110 points. Wow. And that's after the Prime Minister's party secured the weekend elections. And that's strengthening expectations for additional stimulus action. So we got to be positive on the FTSE right now, on the Nikkei right now. We're looking at the Hong Kong, the Hang Seng Index, that jumped 1.76%, supported by a rebound in semiconductors. You look at in China, the Shanghai finished higher by 1.41%, driven by strength in tech and mining shares. And then we're turning our attention over to oil because, earlier this morning I was watching oil, and oil was trading lower, but it has since turned positive. You got WTI trading at $63.75. You got Brent at $68.26. This week, we're going to be getting the monthly oil reports from the IEA and OPEC. So that OPEC monthly oil report comes out. I believe it comes out on Wednesday. That's going to be a key for the markets as they kind of focus on supply and demand aspects in these reports. Talking about earnings, ticker DT, Dynatrace, they beat by 3 cents. They did that on higher revenue. You look at the stock this morning, it's trading higher by 9.76%. Wow. Upcoming after the bell, you got ON Semiconductors. Their EPS is 62 cents. Expected move is 9.8%. You got Upwork, UPWK. Their EPS is 23 cents. Expected move is 17.43% when they release. Let's take a look at the markets real quick and see what we see happening. I got 11 Dow stocks higher. I got 3 unchanged. Which means I got 16 lower. And not really positive. Tesla and Amazon are showing some gains this morning in the FANG stocks. Meta's trading higher, and so is Netflix. But Google's trading a little off. So, overall, we can see some positive action in the S&Ps. In terms of news hitting the tape, Apple's iPhone 17e with MagSafe is coming soon. It's one headline I saw out there. Meta Platforms got some negative comments from EU regulators, and they're criticizing the EU regulators after they were charging the company, not surprisingly. SpaceX delays its Mars plans to focus on the moon. Elon Musk's rocket company is aimed to reach the red planet in 2026, is what he said all along, but he's now changing that direction a little too hard for him, apparently. Dow Jones 30 stocks, Johnson & Johnson reports positive early pilot study results for their atrial fibrillation device. Kroger, they reported an ex-Walmart executive as its new CEO. So, yeah, Walmart's trading a little lower, but nothing significant. In terms of merger news, Eli Lilly buying Uma Therapeutics for up to $2.4 billion. Buybacks, Dynatrace, ticker DT, they announced a 1 billion share repurchasing program. Okay, let's move on to our pick of the day, which, for today, I'm going to say Hasbro, ticker HAS, Henry Apple Sam. Earnings tomorrow morning, EPS is 99 cents, expected move is 7.92%. I mean, the call volume wasn't significant on Friday. I mean, you have Friday's call volume was 207 calls versus 43 puts. And now on a statistic basis, that's great, but overall volume was kind of light. But you look at that open interest, 11,000 versus 3,700. That's interesting to me. And the price targets are being raised by the major brokers, so they like Hasbro. I want to get in at a good price. I mean, listen, we had a big, huge day on Friday. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some weakness around the markets today. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see, the stock trade a little lower this morning. Today I see a bid of 92.25, offer 94. Honestly, I'm hoping to get in 92.50, 92.75, under 93. And if I do that, I think, positive report could easily see this stock, having a nice leg higher. But that's my pick of the day. Hasbro, ticker HAS, Henry Apple Sam. Okay, let's move on and let's talk about stocks, that are moving this morning. What do we see? Fresh Del Monte receives U.S. bankruptcy court approval for acquisition. Rig, Transocean to acquire Valaris in a $5.8 billion all-stock transaction. That's big. Ticker BIIB, their Alzheimer's drug is accepted for priority review in China. Datadog's earnings tomorrow morning. That's all I'm seeing this morning. Okay, let's move on to our stock of the day from Friday, which was Bennett Dickinson, ticker BDXB. Boy, David X-Ray. Look at these numbers. The stock opened up at 206.76 and then fell to 204.90. Now, I said 206, so it did hit that area. But then with the market rally, it rallied all the way up to 210 and closed at 210.02. $210.02. It actually traded higher than that, so it easily beat the 1% during the day. It's trading a little off this morning, but it had such a nice run on Friday. I'm not, the 1% was there, so you take that money and you walk away, because that's our 1% model. Once you see it, take it, walk away. live to trade another day. But traders, that concludes today's Trade Talk podcast for NewsWare. Guys, you know what to do. Let's go out there. Let's make some green.